So listen, once again, history has repeated itself. Philadelphia has become a trash haven. If you haven't heard the news, or if you'll remember, as I say once again, what happened, this happened before, back in what year was it? Back in 1986. Most of the listeners of this podcast probably were not born at that date and time, but if you were, you were. If you were around, you were around, and you remember that in 1986, it was a 20-day strike that time, and trash wasn't collected. It's when the city of Philadelphia was deemed the nickname Filthadelphia.
What are we doing?
And so, as it much often does, history has repeated itself, and we are now on strike again, and no trash has been collected since, upwards of 4 days ago on July 1st, when the workers of the DC 33 union, who in the city of Philadelphia are in charge of water, maintenance, city work, emergency responders. When you call 911, those people will answer the phone. Some of those are them, you know what I mean? And the biggest group of them all are obviously those of the trash collectors. And so they're all on strike this week because the city of Philadelphia, according to them and their leadership at the union, say that they don't get paid enough. They don't get paid a living wage. They don't get paid enough to do what they're doing on a daily/weekly basis all the time, full-time job basis. And so they say, hey, either we get some more money, we get a raise, or we're out. We're done. We're striking.
What are we doing?
And naturally, here we are. So the strike's been going on for the last 4 days. No trash has been collected, and it's starting to become an issue, right? And so to combat the non-picking up of the trash, the mayor of Philadelphia, who we'll get to in a minute, you know what I mean? Lovely lady, we'll get to her in a minute, you know? She's crashing out. The mayor, she came up with this genius idea to put out like 50 or 60 like big storage container, shipping container bins for everyone to then manually on their own go put their trash in because it's not getting collected. The only problem with that plan is that it only maybe lasted for about like an hour or two until the point in which everyone took their trash to said containers and they were immediately full.
What are we doing?
So much so to the point that all of the trash then just started getting left on the outside of the bins, to the point now where the trash is now blocking sidewalks, to the point now where the trash is now blocking some streets, and everything is just kind of a mess and stinky and a filth, and it's gross out. It's hot out again today. It's the 4th of July. Celebrate your independence, Philadelphia, because you got a city full of trash.
What are we doing?
And that's where we're at. And that's where we're at in this country. We're on that same weirdo, some kind of funky, we haven't come back since COVID happened, reality of a timeline where there are just piles and mounds and mountains and streets and sidewalks full of trash in the city of Philadelphia. And so the plan didn't go as planned. Everything's falling apart. It's the 4th of July weekend, which makes it just a little bit even more ironic that this is is happening here. Take a closer look. Ready?
Has set up spots around the city, more than 60 spots where you can drop off your trash if it is your trash day.
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Today, the AFL-CIO, that larger group of unions, was encouraging people not to do that.
Right.
I spoke to the president of the AFL-CIO about why they are sending a different message than you are hearing from the mayor. Take a listen.
Anybody who would be looking to do that work in the place of those striking workers is a scab. And so we're just encouraging people not to support any sort of scabbing that could be happening, and certainly for them not to do it themselves.
Is that fair to residents who are just trying to clean up their own house?
Absolutely. Everybody has that concern. Everybody, is concerned about cleanliness and hygiene and, trash piling up in July, certainly. But it's very clear what happened here is that the workers are exercising their rights to collectively bargain, and in this case, go on strike for better.
So, and I mean, that's just, this is the issue. The strikers and the union organizers don't want you taking your trash, because then you're essentially doing the work that they should be getting paid to do for free. You're scabbing.
What are we doing?
And so, you know what I mean? They want a livable wage. And I believe the number being tossed around from the mayor's office was, hey, here's what we'll do. We'll come to terms with, you know, giving you a better and bigger and higher salary. How about 3%? We're willing to raise all of your salaries by 3%. And so what's going to happen is you need to come back to work. And by the way, hey, clean up all this mess while you're at it.
What are we doing?
And then we'll give you 3%. And so they were like, hey, lady, we're not trying to do that, okay? We're not trying to do 3%. We need a little bit more than 3%. And so at the end of the day, it's basically coming down to a game of wits, okay? The mayor is now finding out that, and this has been happening. The more this happens, the funnier it gets. When boomers, the mayor of the boomer generation, the mayor of Philadelphia, when boomers find out that most of your personal information is, one, online, and two, can be found pretty easily if need be. Case in point, the mayor and all of her friends' salaries with the roles that she created for them within her administration / government / regime as the mayor of Philadelphia was all discovered, of course, online. And now, also, by the way, how much her salary is now and how much her raises have been over the last year, couple of years, for the last couple of years. And it's all basically just, it's all in a Google sheet, online, publicly accessible information.
What are we doing?
And so when boomers find out, when boomers get shocked, when like all of their personal stuff gets leaked, when they start getting into internet battles and battles with people on the streets of real life, you know what I mean? It basically comes down to them versus what we can find out about you on the internet. And so now that everyone knows how much the mayor's salary is and how much her 9% raise was over the last few years, they're kind of pissed because she only wanted to give them 3%.
What are we doing?
And so it's just this phenomenon that I'm obsessed with when the boomers find out that we know more about them than they do. So naturally the mayor is crashing out. Okay, the mayor is crashing out and she doesn't know what to do. She's being PC, very politically correct. She's going back to her team, trying to figure out what to say and what to say next. But when all of the people online and all of the people on TikTok are coming directly for her, she has nothing left to do other than A, crash out, and B, just get real down to the nitty gritty of it. Yep, this is how much I make, bitch. This is how much my raise was. I'm doing the best I can. There was just an explosion last week. I don't know what's going on. There's a plane crash every 3 days.
What are we doing?
The mayor of Philadelphia.
City Hall today from a briefing. I walked around and I had a chance to talk to some members from District Council 33. And when I talked to them about what was on the table, they said that's not true. They said, but we can tell you what is true. I said, what's true? That you came in, you got elected and gave yourself a 9% raise when you became the mayor. I said, I don't know.
That's her right there, that face.
What are we doing?
That's her not knowing how to mentally process the fact that the millennials who are striking in a part of DC 33 know how to obtain information about people via online sources And this is her not being able to process how they would have known that when she got into office, she made this much, gave herself a 9% raise to make this much, and she can't really fathom how they would know that. And she wasn't expecting them to come to the table ready with a 1-2 punch like, Jake Paul.
What are we doing?
This is her not being able to process
and
it.
gave
It's so
yourself
funny.
a 9% raise when you became the mayor.
And
I
she's-
said, I don't know.
How do you know that?
How
What? I don't know.
I don't know how to tell you.
What are we
that
doing?
It's a blatant falsehood. It's an untruth. It is a lie. When I was elected mayor in January of 2024, I started with the same exact salary that Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney had on December the 31st when he had his last day in office. That was $261,497.
Oh,
What
it's
are
too
we doing?
much. It's too much. It should be $100,000 less for whatever it is. What do you gotta do? Like, you gotta, every time there's a tragedy, I don't know, man. Hey, I'm working on my political run. I gotta start as president of the HOA, then I'm gonna be mayor, then I'm gonna be governor, then I'll be president. So I'm working on that now. So I don't know what a mayor does on a daily basis, but I assume it's probably not much. And so, you know what I mean? For $270,000 a year, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Give some to the pick 'em up trash. Give some to the trash people. You know what I mean? Give them some. You know?
Say when I came in, I
Just
gave
kidding.
myself
I'm just kidding.
a 9% pay raise. It's just not factual, Philadelphia. And quite frankly, to the tax-paying residents of the city of Philadelphia, well, I don't have the ability to stop information from being disseminated on social
That's
media.
right.
I do
Fake
have the right to
news.
share the truth with you.
Blame the fake news.
What are we doing?
Scratch now.
$161,497. The same salary that Mayor Jim Kenney had when he left. I received a COLA in July of 2024. Not that I gave myself. A COLA of 3.14%. Is that pie? I'm sorry. 3.14%.
Try to be funny. That's it. Bring it back with some
Okay.
jokes. Bring it back with
That's what I
some
received, not
jokes.
because-
What are we
At
doing?
this point, look, folks, it's a situation where this should have been handled, it should have been taken care of, and they're not going to be able to. There's not going to be a situation where, like, hey, now we've got streets full of trash. We're going to have to bring bulldozers in. That's going to cost money. And how long is it going to spend once you get all of the employees back into their jobs? Once you come up with an actual term that they can agree to, who's cleaning up this mess? Who's spending time? It's going to take probably a week or two to get all of the trash that is just now on the streets and sidewalks overflowing from the bins and the dumpsters that you put out. And so it's going to cost so much more money than the negotiation tables for the salary raises now. And so what this is affecting as of right this moment, this very second, as we are recording live, there is supposed to be a 4th of July concert every year on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. There's supposed to be a concert. And you know who's supposed to be there this year? None other than the man himself, LL Cool J.
What are we doing?
Well, you can bet your bottom dollar that, you know what I mean? LL Cool J isn't really okay with what's going on in Philadelphia. It's a situation where you have to pick sides. One, are you LL Cool J and try to drive through the trash to get through the concert to the stage? And two, are you down with, you know what I mean? Do your people, he's probably, if he's coming, if LL Cool J is doing a concert in Philadelphia, there's probably a chance he knows someone who probably lives in Philadelphia who might be affected by this. So now it's personal with LL Cool J.
Opinions on this. People who were or still are planning to come to the Wow Wow Welcome America concert tonight, they're a bit bummed out that LL Cool J says he will not perform as long as the DC 33 strike is going on. Here is part of that Instagram post that he shared last night.
I never, ever, ever want to disappoint my fans. And especially in Philadelphia, y'all mean too much to me. but there's absolutely no way that I could perform, cross a picket line and pick up money when I know that people are out there fighting for a living wage. I'm not doing that.
The president of DC 33 issued a statement reacting to this decision. He started off by saying LL Cool J's decision to stand in solidarity with the labor movement by choosing not to cross a picket line is a powerful testament to his respect for workers' rights. Mayor Sherelle Parker, meantime, said that she spoke personally with LL Cool J, saying that she respects the decision and understands his desire to see the city unified, and he is always welcome in Philadelphia.
So LL Cool J is giving up his bag for the city of Philadelphia, but the mayor of the city of Philadelphia can't?
What are we doing?
Maybe, I don't know, you know? So, I mean, it doesn't sound good. I mean, if the last one lasted 20 days, I mean, that was like that was years and years and years and years ago. 1986. So it was, you know, it's one of those situations where at the end of the day, either they're going to bring in a whole new squad or the president will have to get involved. I don't know. It's at the end of the day, they'll end up probably getting their money, but boy, oh boy, what a catastrophe.
What are we doing?